Today we're going to talk about something that silently controls millions of lives: bad habits. Many people believe that breaking a bad habit requires incredible willpower. They think they need to wake up one morning feeling motivated, strong, and completely different. But the truth is far more powerful than that. You don't need more willpower, you need a better system. Think about it. Have you ever promised yourself that this would be the last time, the last cigarette, the last hour wasted on social media, the last day of procrastination, the last unhealthy meal? Yet somehow, a few hours later or the next morning, you're back to doing the exact same thing. It's frustrating because you begin to think something is wrong with you, but there isn't. The problem isn't your character. The problem is your environment, your routine, and the invisible patterns your brain has repeated thousands of times. Every habit starts with a simple loop. First, there is a trigger. Then comes the action. Finally, there is the reward. Your brain remembers this cycle because it loves efficiency. The more often you repeat the cycle, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, the habit happens automatically, without you even thinking. This is why relying on willpower is so difficult. Willpower is like a battery. It gets weaker throughout the day. Every decision you make uses a little bit of that battery. By the evening, when you're tired, stressed, or bored, your brain naturally chooses the easiest path, the familiar habit. So stop blaming yourself. Instead of asking, how can I become stronger? Ask yourself, how can I make the bad habit harder to perform? This single question can change your life. Imagine trying to eat unhealthy snacks while there are no snacks in your house. Imagine trying to waste hours on your phone after deleting the apps that distract you. Imagine trying to skip your workout when your gym clothes are already waiting beside your bed. Success is rarely about heroic moments. It's about smart preparation. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is, I'll have more discipline tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and nothing changes. The successful person doesn't depend on motivation. They create systems that work even when motivation disappears. Look at nature. Rivers don't cut through mountains because they are powerful in one moment. They do it because they flow consistently every single day. Small actions repeated over time become unstoppable. Your habits work exactly the same way. A bad habit isn't built overnight, and it won't disappear overnight either. Every time you repeat it, you're laying another brick. But every time you interrupt it, you're removing one. Progress is happening even when you can't see it. Many people quit too early because they expect instant results. They stop after 3 days and say, this isn't working. But think about how long you've been practicing your bad habit. Maybe 5 years, maybe 10, maybe 20. Why would you expect decades of programming to disappear in one weekend? Real change requires patience. Here's another powerful idea. Never fight a habit with empty space. Replace it. If you're trying to stop scrolling on your phone, replace that time with reading 10 pages of a book. If you're trying to stop eating junk food, prepare healthy meals before you're hungry. If you're trying to stop procrastinating, start with just 5 minutes of focused work. The brain hates losing rewards, but it happily accepts better rewards. That's why replacement works far better than resistance. Every small victory teaches your brain a new identity. Instead of saying, I'm trying to quit, begin saying, I'm becoming someone who values health. Instead of saying, I'm lazy, say, I'm learning to become disciplined. Identity changes behavior more than motivation ever will. The person who believes they are healthy naturally chooses healthier food. The person who believes they are productive naturally begins important work. Your actions follow the story you tell yourself. So choose that story carefully. Another secret is to remove friction from good habits and add friction to bad ones. Want to stop checking your phone every 5 minutes? Leave it in another room. Want to stop watching late-night videos? Turn off Wi-Fi after a certain time. Want to avoid overspending? Leave your credit card at home when you don't need it. These tiny obstacles seem insignificant, but they force your brain to pause. That pause is often enough to break the automatic habit loop. Remember this. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Your daily routine is quietly creating your future. Every choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. Maybe today's choice feels small, but tomorrow it becomes your lifestyle. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. One version of you keeps repeating the same habits, making the same excuses, and living the same life. The other version makes one small improvement every day, just one. Who do you think will have the better future? The difference won't come from talent. It won't come from luck. It won't even come from willpower. It will come from consistent decisions repeated long enough to change your identity. Your future isn't decided in one dramatic moment. It's decided by the little things you do when nobody is watching. And today, you have the chance to make your first small decision. Not tomorrow, not next Monday. Most people think bad habits are caused by weakness, but in reality, they are usually caused by repetition. Your brain doesn't judge whether a habit is good or bad. It simply remembers what you repeat the most. If you repeat an action often enough, your mind begins to treat it as normal. That is why change begins with awareness. Before you can destroy a bad habit, you must first understand it. For the next few days, pay attention to yourself. Don't try to change anything immediately, just observe. When does the habit happen? Where are you? Who are you with? What emotion are you feeling? Are you bored, stressed, lonely, anxious, or simply avoiding an important task? Every habit has a hidden trigger, and once you discover it, you gain power over it. Many people say they have no control over their habits, but that's because they're fighting the action instead of removing the trigger. Imagine trying to stop eating unhealthy food while keeping your kitchen full of junk snacks. Imagine trying to stop wasting time on social media while your phone constantly sends notifications. You're making success harder than it needs to be. Successful people don't just control themselves, they control their environment. If you want to read more books, place one on your desk where you can see it every day. If you want to drink more water, keep a bottle beside you. If you want to stop checking your phone, keep it out of reach during work. Your surroundings quietly influence your decisions more than you realize. Another powerful lesson is this: never trust how you feel in the moment. Feelings change every hour. Some mornings you'll wake up excited. Other mornings you'll feel tired and unmotivated. If your habits depend on your emotions, your progress will always be inconsistent. Instead, create rules, not goals, rules. For example, don't say, "I'll exercise when I feel motivated." Say, "I exercise every morning at 7 a.m. Don't say, "I'll study when I'm in the mood." Say, "I study for 1 hour after dinner every day." Rules remove the need to make decisions. They turn discipline into routine. One of the biggest reasons people fail is because they try to change everything at once. They decide they're going to wake up at 5 a.m., work out for an hour, read 50 pages, quit sugar, stop watching television, meditate, and become a completely different person overnight. That rarely works. Your brain becomes overwhelmed and eventually returns to its old habits. Real success comes from small victories. Improve one habit first. When that habit becomes automatic, add another. Every success builds confidence, and confidence creates momentum. Remember, a tiny improvement repeated every day is more powerful than a huge effort repeated once a month. There's another mistake many people make. They believe one failure means they've lost all their progress. They miss one workout and quit. They eat one unhealthy meal and give up. They waste one afternoon and decide they'll start again next Monday. But one mistake doesn't define you. It's the pattern that matters. Imagine driving from one city to another. If you make one wrong turn, you don't abandon the entire trip. You simply correct your direction and keep moving. Life works exactly the same way. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Another strategy that changes everything is making your future self your best friend. Every decision you make today either helps or hurts the person you'll become tomorrow. When you choose healthy food, your future self thanks you. When you finish your work, instead of procrastinating, your future self benefits. When you save money, instead of spending it carelessly, your future self becomes more secure. Think about that before every important choice. Ask yourself one question. Will my future self be proud of this decision? That simple question can interrupt an automatic habit and guide you toward a better one. Remember, habits shape identity. Every action is evidence of who you believe you are. If you keep your promises to yourself, even the small ones, your confidence grows. Confidence isn't built by motivational speeches. It's built by keeping commitments. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you strengthen your self-respect. Eventually, discipline no longer feels difficult. It becomes part of your identity. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start. You become the kind of person who chooses growth over comfort. And that identity is far more powerful than temporary motivation. As Jim Rohn often taught, success isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who deserves it. Your habits determine who you become, and who you become determines the opportunities that come into your life. So don't focus only on breaking bad habits. Focus on building a better version of yourself. When your character grows stronger, bad habits naturally lose their place. The battle isn't against the habit. The battle is for the person you're becoming. Win that battle every single day, one decision at a time. Now imagine your life 1 year from today. Picture yourself waking up with more confidence, more energy, and a clearer mind. Imagine looking back at this moment and realizing that everything changed because you made one simple decision. You stopped waiting for willpower and started changing your habits. That is how real transformation begins. Not with one giant breakthrough, not with one perfect day, but with one small decision repeated over and over again. The truth is, every bad habit steals something from your future. It steals your time, your health, your confidence, your opportunities, and sometimes even your dreams. The cost may seem small today, but over the course of months and years, it becomes enormous. Now think about the opposite. Every good habit is an investment. Every page you read makes you wiser. Every workout makes you stronger. Every healthy meal improves your body. Every hour spent learning a new skill increases your value. Every promise you keep to yourself builds your confidence. These small actions may not seem exciting today, but they create an extraordinary future. Remember, success is rarely the result of one big decision. It is almost always the result of hundreds of small decisions made consistently. The people you admire didn't become successful because they were born different. They became successful because they protected their daily habits. While others were waiting for motivation, they were building routines. While others were making excuses, they were making progress. You can do the same. Start by making your bad habit inconvenient. If your phone distracts you, leave it in another room. If late night television keeps you awake, unplug it before bedtime. If unhealthy food is your weakness, don't buy it in the first place. Don't rely on self-control when you can redesign your environment. Next, make your good habits obvious and easy. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Keep a notebook on your desk. Place a book beside your bed. Prepare tomorrow's task before going to sleep. These simple actions remove resistance and make positive behavior almost automatic. Another powerful strategy is to celebrate small wins. Too many people ignore their progress because they haven't reached the finish line. But progress deserves recognition. If you studied for 20 minutes today when yesterday you studied for none, that's improvement. If you walked for 10 minutes instead of staying on the couch, that's improvement. If you resisted one unnecessary distraction, that's improvement. Celebrate those victories because they create momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth. Once you start moving forward consistently, every next step becomes easier. But remember this, there will be difficult days. There will be mornings when you don't feel like working. There will be evenings when old habits call your name. There will be moments when quitting feels easier than continuing. Those are the moments that define your future. Anyone can stay disciplined when life is easy. Character is built when life becomes difficult. When you choose the better action, even though it's uncomfortable, you prove to yourself that you are changing. Every difficult decision strengthens your mind. Every challenge you overcome increases your confidence. Every obstacle becomes another lesson. Eventually, the habits that once controlled you lose their power, not because they disappeared overnight, but because you became stronger than them. Never compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Everyone grows at a different pace. Focus on becoming just 1% better than yesterday. 1% every day may seem insignificant, but over time, it creates extraordinary results. That is the power of consistency. The world often celebrates dramatic success stories, but behind every success is a collection of ordinary days filled with ordinary choices. Wake up, do the work, keep your promises, learn something new, take care of your health, repeat. That's the formula. Simple, not easy, but incredibly effective. Always remember that your habits create your destiny. The life you experience tomorrow is being built by the choices you make today. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for next month. Don't wait until the new year. Start now. Take one small action before this day ends. Read one page, drink one glass of water, go for one short walk, write down one goal, delete one distraction. Do something that your future self will thank you for. Because every great journey begins with a single step, and every powerful life begins with one powerful decision. You are not trapped by your past. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not limited by the habits you've carried for years. Starting today, you can build new patterns. You can create a stronger mindset. You can become more disciplined. You can become healthier, wiser, calmer, and more successful. The choice has always been yours. So make a decision today. Stop waiting for willpower. Start building systems. Or stop chasing motivation. Start creating momentum. Stop hoping your life will change. Become the person who changes it. Thank you so much for watching. If this message inspired you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. Remember, your future is created by what you repeatedly do, not by what you occasionally promise yourself. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and keep becoming the best version of yourself.